excitement. Starting at 9 a.m. Friday, Black Friday. There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra. Available with the connected driving experience. Or get $3,500 purchase cash on select 2023 Sierra models. Or get a total of $6,000 purchase allowance when you trade in and watch Bulldogs Now Saturday mornings on Fox 5. Presented by Hoffman Financial Group.
The journey has proved more than worthy. But the real pursuit is just beginning. The 2024 Pac-12 Women's Basketball Tournament. March 6th through 10th, live from the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas. 12 teams ready to lay it all at what they're made of. Get your tickets now at pac-12.com/tickets.
Last touchdown pass looked like Bo Nix was trying to recreate the arrival of the Duck. Right, supposed to be. That should be flipped if Oregon State was in the lead, but that's what they wanted to do coming in, the Beavers, bro.
Yeah, that's what the Beavers do best, right? Second, give some credit to Oregon. I mean, they know what's at stake here. They know everything that's in front of them, and they're going to do whatever it takes to win this game. And oh, by the way, they got a quarterback playing with extreme confidence. That was the opening drive, 8 rushing touchdowns, just his 6th this year. Because, well, when I got my 4 rushing touchdowns, just his 6th this year. Because, well, when I got my buddies on the outside, my little brother, and then Troy Franklin to toss already a school record, and that one was devastating. Just when Oregon State gained some momentum back, right? Scored with less than a minute to go. So, Bo Nix, I'll answer. Be amazing at the next level.
Silas Bolden wants to make a play here. He gets turned around, he gets strung out, and he is swarmed under at the 10-yard line by Connor Soley. Downstairs, Allison Williams, what do you have?
I talked to Oregon State's Jonathan Smith going into the half, and he said it was really tough giving up that score at the end of the half. But credit to Bo Nix, but we have to do a better job containing him. He said we had a couple of busts, and he just beat us because we're giving him in the field. We haven't.
They've also, Allison, thank you for that. They've also run for only 22 yards on 10 carries, and that is just not sustainable for this rush offense. So Martinez gets on first down, and he is tackled by Brandon Dorless after a game.
Breathing room as Tosh flexes his way to another.
Yeah, no sleeves tonight for Tosh LaPointe, even though it is frigid down there on the field. 2nd and 7 for Oregon State. The right, he throws to his right, and it's Gould on the reception for an Oregon State first down in front of Dante May.
Big time. Birch has been in his face about 8 different times. Feels like we have the most.
Play action, it's a reverse, and it's Irish coming this way, and Oregon does hold off there. And decline.
To a little bit, Jason, is all this misdirection because you can't just run out of them.
Which speaks to the upgrade defense.
Out of
Which speaks to the upgrade defense.
why they're one of the best rush defenses, in the conference. I mean, just look at the size of those two men. They just anchor down. 13 years of college experience between Taki and Popo. And I kind of just like saying Taki and Popo.
Why would 645?
The leg in, offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
It's only 4 penalties for 20 yards, but they've come at crucial times.
Pre-snap. I mean, you could live with a whole.
Come at crucial times.
Pre-snap. I mean, you could live with a whole. A couple critical false starts and short yardage. And you're right, that looked like much, but 2nd and 13 now, well behind the sticks.
There's Belling in motion. He has not had a catch so far in the ballgame. The outstanding tight end. There he is, Belling with a marker coming in behind his run after the.
The middle, they hold there on that seam route. You wanted them.
Receiving tight ends for an Oregon State player at tight end in a season. Uiagalelei, nice pickup of the blitz, and he gets it away for Gould around Williams for a first.
Well, it was a terrific pickup by Damian because it is. Chains.
It was 19 for Belling, 18 yards for Gould. Feed Martinez into the middle of that defense and Popo Amuvai. What is at stake for Oregon tonight? A chance to go to the Pac-12?
Down, and does Bridges get his feet in bounds with blown dead?
And there was a clear recovery, it looked like. So this is reviewable, and the replay room is taking a look at it currently as they do. This is so close, Brock. There. Watch that right leg.
I saved, I started a dog walking. I was a bit nervous, but then I figured, walking, right?
This one's different.
When free hot breakfast can make or break your day. It's Captain by Hilton. For the stay.
So it's going to come down to this. Can they do it?
Wait a minute. There's a flag on the play.
You just make something right reasons. So what do you call that? We call it Shiloh.
We are family.
Premieres January 3rd.
Pay for what you need. That's right.
Which one?
I think it is absolutely a pass. I have a hard time with that one. Your edges have had a hard time.
Field is an
The
incomplete
defensive ends.
forward pass. The ball goes over on downs. First down, Oregon.
Yeah, and rightfully so. Turnover on downs. Right in his kisser. Hear a lot about the offense.
Do that one. Your edges have had a hard
The ruling on
time
the field is an
with the
incomplete.
defensive ends.
And how does he know if I've been everything? Everything? Let me guess. He's got lots of bring sweet Italian tomatoes and petals. Slow is good. Unless you're face to face with a linebacker. Rayo's homemade. Make every day delicious.
The moment is
Jenny and I. Allergic to. You get used to the pain.
sure. Dos Equis, raise one with a real one. Yeah, but I found a better deal. Wait,
That is definitely him.
Dude, that's just a with a peppermint frosty.
Going in.
What?
Hello. I got something right. Yeah, that's real.
And now get 20% off in the Wendy's app.
Fox College Football is sponsored by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. This was at halftime. This is the drone show they've had here since Ruben was running it.
Those drones?
Yeah, let's run downs for Oregon State in a big spot, bro.
A fourth down call? Not so. Off the charts.
Stopped on a dime. First down, Oregon. Allison, what do you have? Stopped on a dime. First down, Oregon. Allison, what do you have?
Second half, like they did last year, Dan Lanning told his team at the half, it doesn't matter. You got to continue to do your job, you to fight the rest of this game. And the biggest thing is that we have to play a clean game. We cannot have penalties and beat ourselves.
Troy Franklin, beautiful catch. Comment. We think it might have been his idea, but and the evidence is right there. You have to close. Instead, he snapped it off to his adopted brother to lead my guys in one-on-one. Live wire, first down.
You felt it, that the pressure is just bearing down on him. I dare you to bring pressure at me. I dare you to leave my guys one, and I'm going to make you pay.
That's exactly what he said to you. He has the answer there. This one gets slung out to Franklin, and it's Cooper dragging him for a yard.
And then it blinks, and then you gotta click the thing again.
Talked about sensation.
That's kind of remember when it was like, and then it was like, hey guys, let's make him watch fucking wrestling. I was trying to remember you watched that boxing match and it was fucking rigged the rig like was nothing up there. It was that last match. Yoshi. Then I went like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's the best. It was so good. Then you go to the third one, and nothing wrong. Then it has bigger back. Then you can click it and go like this. And then
Easy to Geico.
oh, and the convention. And then you'd be like, oh, okay. And then you'd be like, no, it's right.
Always goes big. You ain't seen nothing yet, Judy.
Wow. Thorough.
So, um,
Probably fine. Probably.
Notice
let's see the matter, buddy.
Leave it.
Yoshi, 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 Yoshi.
Sneezing, coughing, aching, fever, honeylicious.
Whatever, that's fine.
Tomorrow.
Yoshi, remember when this is open? And everybody like, hey, Jimmy Neutron, how much is up this quick?
For the Wolverines, storylines galore. Join us all day long. It's great football.
And Gus and Joel and Jenny are going to just absolutely.
Oregon State needs points, and it's going to start with an out-of-bounds kickoff. That's the 6th out-of-bounds kickoff for Oregon this year.
Kick out of bounds. Kicking team. Offense chooses to take the ball to 35-yard line. First down, Oregon State.
So Oregon State's coming on the field here. We just saw Bo Nix. What did you feel talking to him here?
Good trail. Came out here. I feel like DJ's had to.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, it's 3:30 middle here that's willing to defeat a block and not just stand there and watch and be a bystander, but is going to just crawl down that line of scrimmage and go bring 330 to that run game.
How much did they miss the tackles when they were out last year?
Enormous in this matchup more than any other.
It's a second straight run. Tuioti got a hit there. The freshman, the son of Tony, the defensive line coach, and it's third down coming up.
For Tosh.
Yoshi. Yoshi.
Defensive ends have been home wreckers tonight.
It was forced down on the previous possession. I did not love that call, but this one, Tanner Miller, 61, who is smaller than he is, and then have arms nearly as long. You know why the Senior Bowl guys love them and the NFL guys do? Because that's how you draw them up. 6'3", 290. Use that leverage. Use those long arms and force another punt.
Green with a line drive, spinning toward Tez Johnson, and he'll fair catch this one. Oregon gets it back. The Ducks are 19 minutes away from a trip to the Pac-12 in Las Vegas.
all of you to stop what you're doing and listen. Cannonball!
Show me his middle face and got this. Gobble gobble. I've seen bigger legs on the turkey. Rude. Who are you? I'm an investor in a fund that helps advance innovative sports tech, like this smart fitness mirror. Also, Mr. Leg Day, 1989.
Anyone can become an agent of innovation with Invesco QQQ, a fund that gives you access to NASDAQ 100 innovation.
I go through a lot of pains.
Carefully read and consider fund investment objectives, risk, charges, expenses, and more in prospectus at Invesco.com.
My family is sacred to me. It truly is all that matters. I was on a work when the pulmonary embolism happened. But because I had the factor V, which showed I had the genetic mutation, because I was aware of that gene, that saved my life. I would not have been able to meet my new granddaughter. I truly believe I'm here because of 23andMe. Thank you.
Oh, this is so beautiful. It's the Black Friday sale at Kay. Get unbelievable savings with 40% off fashion jewelry and 30% off bridal. Hurry in, these savings won't last long. Only at Kay.
The Masked Singer is taking you to Funky Town.
It's the first group final. And shocking double elimination.
Oh my God.
All new Masked Singer Wednesday on Fox.
In the Pac-12 right now, Oregon a game back of Washington. The Apple Cup is tomorrow at 1 Pacific time, but an Oregon win gets the Ducks into their 6th Pac-12 title game, and there certainly is a path to get into the college football playoff.
Yep, and keep playing in this style. The committee has loved this far. They've loved the numbers and everything about it, the way they're playing. It helped to have a Heisman Trophy frontrunner as well. And you're 19 minutes away. You couldn't close it out a year ago. You're 19 minutes away from getting there.
Bucky Irvin is backhand drilled by a pair of Beavers, including Hodgins and Lolo Hea as well.
Now, these guys are not going to give up. I mean, there is a lot of pride within this front for Oregon State. 6-year seniors on that side, too. That's what strikes me, Jason. You put up the Rapid, the depth, the Beavers, teams near the top of it, so many veterans that have played a ton of football.
Hodgins injuries, ankle, foot injuries, in stride.
He has been through over the course of his career, too.
5, and it's a hand off for Bucky Irving, and he is up. And got this in development. That's the fun part about the quarterback position. Yep. Everybody's got their own skills. Mariota, totally different guys. Downey, the safety came over.
Yeah, that was maybe the first questionable decision I've seen in about 5 weeks. Downey does come over and if he's looking for the football, he dislodges it.
Yosh.
At Oladapo, it is clean. It is not by the face mask. It bounds, but it is.
Bryant is hurt though, and that, whether it was legal or not, is the least of the worries of the Oregon fans. With Gary Bryant, who had 25 catches coming in, transferred from USC, a much deeper receiver room this year, and he is a big part. Dan Land.
You just can't put any weight, and that is awful, and you hate it. You really.
Yosh.
We're ready. 4, 3, 2. You are about to embark upon the great crusade. Your task will not be an easy one.
Phones. Connect to America's most reliable 5G network and join the millions who've switched to one of the fastest growing mobile services. Now's your chance to get a free line Have unlimited for years when you switch to Xfinity Internet. Plus, save even more with up to $800 off an eligible 5G phone. Click, call, or visit a store today.
I had to buy something. He's your brother.
Where are we supposed to hang it?
In the attic?
Feel infinitely you in the 2024 QX60 with Infinity Premium Care included. Only at your Infinity retailer.
Customers often tell us they're one of their best golf experiences ever. There's nothing quite like playing with a custom fit.
This morning. Donate now to Toys for Tots.
Smith, it's a 24/7 game to start the fourth quarter, but you were in a similar position last year. What do you tell these guys to instill belief here in the final quarter?
Making some plays. Bo Nix playing phenomenal. We got to change that somehow in this fourth quarter.
I think so.
Thanks.
1-2 of these as a player, both in Corvallis. Nix freezes, loads up a throw. He's got Ferguson on the cross. Ferguson tips. Loads up a throw. He's got Ferguson on the cross. Ferguson tipped.
We have seen him get deep. We have seen him flick it early, and this time he just climbs up into the pocket. Eyes and total vision, once again, on where everybody is on the field.
Looks like the elbow's down here. Let's see. Yep, it is.
A lot of scouts. Actually, we did the Washington game. Oh, we see other. Darn it.
It's Calvin Hart Jr., the linebacker.
A lot of scouts here. It was for the UW Oregon game. A lot of with one. Well, I'm a GM in the league, and he was like, "What do you think about Nix?" I said, "I think he's pretty special, and I think he's rebounded and remarkably well here." I didn't know about all of this. Right? Last year, it felt like, okay, he's done through high school, through college. Like, yeah, he's just out there being a playmaker. This year, he's being a quarterback. And when he said to us, it's Mahomes and it's Burrow, it's a pretty darn good mix to study. It's Burrow's processing and brain. It's Mahomes' athletic. I can't even wait to go take you apart. And that is what.
You know, it's about that mindset that he had. Don't screw up. His first start, he beat Oregon. There's him and the son of a coach and everything that comes along with it. But man, is he comfortable. Like scary comfortable. Ran past Kelly. He wanted it so bad.
Well, look at my big man right here. A little more of that counter. Look at Stephen Jones at 340-some pounds. Just kick it out and then turn the effort, the want to finish. Allison reported it before the game, man. They played last year's fourth quarter on loop. That was 31.
Yeah, and she's got to love what she's seeing from her son, who has just grown and matured so much. And you guys have been talking about that, the leadership. That interesting that it's him that leads that, all those meetings that we've talked about. But it's every Thursday that they have that player-only meeting. And Dan Lanning said, while Bo runs it, it's a testament to the leadership part, what they're seeing, what they feel it takes to win a game. And this week, he showed the part, what they're seeing, what they feel it takes to week. He showed the team, Bo did a clip from Warrior, the movie, to remind them of their why. He said, I know some guys can hit a wall right now. It's Thanksgiving. You feel like you're missing out with your family, with Krista, with his mom. He said, but we have to, like, you're missing out with your family, with Krista, with his mom, right? He said, but we have to fight. We have been through all season to get to this point. So, yes, strong leadership from Bo Nix, but throughout this Oregon team, you guys know.
It certainly does, and you can see it as Oregon State and Bolden out of the end zone, trying to make a play, and he gets crunched by Tysheem Johnson. Sunday, huge day of NFL football on Fox. The NFC South on the line.
Yeah. It's funny, that report that Allison had talking about those player-only meetings. Many years, that's usually a bad thing. Like the players have to get together, right? Something's wrong. But not anymore. Not on player-led teams like this one.
Now this moment for Oregon State, they're down by 3 more than they were last year when they came back to win. Closest. And when you're talking about emotion, Brock, you said this before the game. Oregon State expended so much of it last week in the
Yep, they were beat up football team. And guys are trying to play, but you lose your left guard, you lose your left tackle, you lose your second leading tackler in Arnold at safety. Lose your left tackle, you lose your second leading tackler in Arnold at safety.
I mean, they had 1 win when he showed up. His first year, 2 wins. This has been a big time build for Jonathan Smith as Gould has. This has been a big time build for Jonathan Smith as Gould has. Oregon State, you said it. They very easily could have been a 1-loss team. Uyongalele on first down the seam. He's got it to Bolden, who goes face first.
The inside receiver there, Gould.
Evan Williams.
Yeah, he's hurt, man. You could put that, but you know what you still feel?
What's that?
Whatever's underneath that. Trying to protect you, but there is no way in the world now getting near this mountain. Trying to protect you. No way in the world now getting near this mountain. Like so many of these guys on the field in late November, pain through pain.
Dorla's ready to tee off, and he got 15 minutes to go here for Oregon State. We wonder if Washington is watching this game. They have the Apple Cup coming Pacific time.
You wonder if water's wet.
You're a Pacific Northwest guy. You know the answer. You're a Pacific Northwest guy. You know the answer. So that. Uyongalele with his foot in the ground, and he spins to come up with the first down. Eventually. Tatum to Leote with the stop.
I do wonder when this was 20. Let him use that big athletic frame he has.
That was a 4th down and 2 you're talking about.
Yes.
Start of the third quarter. And throws it down. little bit louder now.
I think they.
And definitely, totally. But it's okay. You can always blame it on the altitude.
Now this is an upgrade. And away we go. Hey, what's up?
Oof, my cable internet bill exploded.
That's some yada yada. But it has 5G home internet for 20.
Time to rearranging these.
5G home internet.
Hammering. Without hurting, which means you're back to thinking work. And when you think work, you're thinking Marriott.
Oh, conquer.
The floor. Premieres January 2nd on Fox.
And 50 years. Marcus Mariota 9 years ago, 12-1.
Well, I can now add 3 over here, right? This was heading into tonight. So now he's at 43 with another to go. And these guys that build the palaces in the desert seem to. He's the front runner. I seem to think that rematch in Vegas. I'm a voter. You're a Heisman voter. Now, Lamar Jackson won the Heisman. He lost 3 times, as Jaden Daniels has. I mean, Jaden has just been ludicrous. I mean, as good as LSU is even better, but there's 3 losses. And Bo and Michael have had LSU is better, but there's 3 losses. And Bo and Michael have had no margin for error. So I both of them are just playing.
Could not do it. So
are just playing any Heisman.
what do you need to see still?
Nothing.
Like, what's going to separate?
Nothing other than winning when it matters the most. I mean, that is it, right? Winners win in the end. As the great coach Mike Heward, Hall of Famer, used to say, winners win in the end.
How do you know him?
Dan Lanning, by blood. And Dan Lanning knows that will. He wants it more than anybody because his decisions up in Seattle played a major role on those 4 counts.
That's certainly true, and we talked to him about it. There was one that maybe he wanted back, but the success of the play is what matters to him. That's over the middle, and it's Trayshawn Holt.
Front rib, and you allow him to not slow down a beat. Front rib, and you allow him to not slow down a beat. Step.
That's what he did 3 years ago in part for the injured Jalen Waddle when he was. That's what he did 3 years ago in part for the injured Jalen Waddle when he was.
Be a hold on that true freshman guard.
Holding offense.
Panay Sewell, first round, top 10 kind of time.
It's high praise. And Jackson Powers Johnson right in the middle of it. That is incomplete off Franklin. Those cards you're talking about. And he wants to protect Bo Nix. There is some strong energy radiating from that young man, a very cool guy who is very open about some struggles when he was younger. There's Bucky Irving takes a refreshing tailback who can create such problems for a defense by making tackles.
It's not often, and when I asked Bo Nix who the toughest dude on this team is, he didn't hesitate. He said number 0, Bucky Irving.
He also included his center, by the way. Because that's a very important position to him. Here's Irving in space.
Trying to get himself off the field. That's what linebackers do right there. I'm not going to stay down. I am not going to stay down. I'm going to find my way off the field, and then I'll collect myself.
I don't want to draw it too
field, and then I'll collect myself.
I don't want to draw it too this year with everything going on with the Pac-12 and lawsuit. I don't want to draw it too broad of a connection there, but Oregon State has been as a school this year with everything he's leaving and everything, and they just kept getting up and kept getting up, and they nearly beat Washington. Hey, look, Oregon has a punter. It's Ross James. And we have a marker in. We'll check that penalty. Will it be the 5th on Oregon or the 4th against Oregon State? How about that tease? Racing for the answer to that question.
During the kick, holding, number 34 receiving distance to the goal. First down, Oregon.
Ram knows everyone celebrates the holidays differently. That's why we make trucks for all of them, and those with not so much. For people who love the cold and people who don't.
Down to this. Can they down to this? They
Oh no, they missed it! Wait a minute. They missed it! Wait a minute. There's a flag. Oh no, they missed it! There's a flag on the play! My dad was a farmer. The guy was bigger than life. He wasn't someone that liked to show his emotion or liked to show when he was struggling, but we all struggle. I want to show emotion to my kids. It's something that brings me so much joy. And it's something that brings me so much joy. And I know that it's okay to struggle. That even dad doesn't know the answer sometimes, but we're going to figure it out together.
Dentist clean feeling? Start with a round brush head. Add
upon the great crusade. The eyes of the world are upon you.
115th gathering of Washington State and Washington, the Apple Cup on the line. Tradition since 1963, Cougars and the Huskies, 4 Eastern on Fox, and our entire wonderful crew is going to be there. We have so many hard work. We'll be in Seattle, the 115th gathering of Washington State and Washington, the Apple Cup on the line. Tradition since 1963, Cougars and the Huskies, 4 Eastern on Fox, and our entire wonderful crew is going to be there. We have so many hardworking people. Teams from the Pacific Northwest this weekend, and a credit to them and their dedication to this craft of sports television. But we are going to go up the road. Is finally wrestled down at about the 35-yard line by Kyrie Jackson.
I like this little guy. He has got some kind of juice to him. Just a quick little slant. You see the patter of feet. He is elusive, showing off why he was one of the top 100-meter guys 5 years out of high school.
Second in state in Oregon in the 100-meter. Martinez to the.
Here's the difference. Just have not been able to crack a run. A long of 6 tonight. That is it. They just have not had one explosive 6 tonight. That is it. They just have not had one explosive. That is not what you want to see if you're an Oregon Duck coach or staff member. Tysheen Johnson is down. There is no Kamari Terrell tonight.
So you've had Bryant get injured on the offensive side. That did not had an update yet, but Tysheen Johnson will jog off. I guess Allison does have an update on Gary Bryant. Second and 5, Uyangalale. They're pawing at him. He throws it down the sideline and got knocked around by Dante Manning. Manning says he slipped, I believe.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 8. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, this is what makes, if Oregon is going to hold on here for the next 6 minutes, next weekend, next Friday night, so fascinating in Vegas. These corners, right? 80%. Danny is shaking his head, but he wants Odunze. This Oregon team wants Washington again, and it is setting up for some fireworks next Friday night.
Jalen McMillan closer to fully healthy. Jalen Polk very dangerous as well. Uyangalale snaps it off. Another receiver took a header. Dangerous as well. Uyangalale snaps it off. Another receiver took a header. Well, that first game was such a classic between Oregon and Washington. And yes, there's still 6:31 to go in this game. So Oregon State, this is a 3-score game. 31. Oregon's had the ball though for 31 minutes of this game. They have controlled the time of possession all night long. Uyan there and caved in the push. And there goes Mateo with a
Strand right back into older brother. I'm looking like these two. No.
to do it.
You don't want any of this?
I don't.
You don't want this. Trying to set up the screen. It was the right call, but there is just too much speed.
This Oregon defense, so good. They batted down 12 passes in the defensive ends. Dorless is phenomenal at that. Phenomenal.
My poor guy, Tanner Miller, right here.
That is Dorless's 7th batted pass this year. That guy loves it. That is Dorless's 7th batted pass this year. That guy loves it.
There he is. It's right there. Oh, he's right there. He's right there. Cover more ground in the Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid.
They say you've changed. They say you've changed.
Google, take a selfie.
Geico makes car insurance easy.
Enjoy your flight.
You too.
As easy as saying the wrong thing.
Me too. Really?
What? Dad.
I'll call you before the airport. That's better for our trip. Well, yeah, you too. Fuck you, bitch.
That's with our pocket. Geico.
And you're not wearing socks. Get a grip, man.
Around here, Saturdays don't just happen. Saturdays are in the details. It takes the X's, the O's, and the T's, the bounces, the flips, and the flights. It takes this moment and this moment. When anything can happen, every detail counts. Pfizer and the SEC are teaming up to
We can say to come back to one possession, you give Bo a minute, and I mean, this.
Bucky Irving is smoked for Bo Nix. He's 78% coming into today. He's 30 for 30. Tonight, 31 for 38. That'll increase with another one to Tez Johnson, who has his 11th Knicks about this, right? Tez Johnson moved in with the Knicks family. You've heard the story, but he said, in terms of how proud he's been of Tez Johnson, he said one of the here, but then last week as well, Bo's father Patrick was there, and Tez wouldn't even go to Bo's first start for Auburn because they were playing Oregon, and he didn't want to root at Auburn because they were playing Oregon, and he didn't want to root at. Oh, now, so Dad's having a good night as well.
Pretty awesome. I love that right there. Like, you're taking us off the field?
Why are we going for it?
Do you want a fourth down? Because I got a fourth down conversion in my pocket. I've given you a couple of them already. Dan Lanning's, no, we will run this clock out. We will finish this game out.
They're going to have a delay of game. for the boot by
Delay
Ross
game.
James.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
The months ahead are going to be absolutely fascinating. Not only with what's going to happen in Vegas and in another rivalry game, I think the winner of that game's got a tremendous chance of making the playoff. But this draft class coming up, I mean, Caleb and Drake and Bo, and we'll see JJ and Penix and Jaden Daniels. I mean, it is as good as I can ever remember it.
Play has been just outstanding. Play has been just outstanding.
I don't know Jake from State Farm, but just imagine my homes and my auto. Best bundle in the league, baby. Man, why can't Patrick change his name? You make the letters smaller.
Come on, model. Let's get it. Put your jersey on.
Bundling. Just another way to save with the State Farm is there.
Honey, I think I heard something.
Okay.
From Christmas tree mats to floor liners, cargo line, and more, WeatherTech has the perfect holiday gift.
Honey, is everything okay?
Oh, yeah. Don't forget WeatherTech gift cards.
Lunch? Yes, please. That'll be $23. Your ad says it's free. It is for our economy ultimate pass. Movies with the purchase of headphones. I'll just use my iPhone.
Only AT&T gives everyone our best deals on any iPhone with any popular plan.
The joy of gifting at Jared, the Black Friday event. Take 20% off store-wide.
Wendy's new breakfast 2 for $3 is so good, the crew is giving every combination code names.
I got that song.
3 is so good, the crew is giving every combination code names.
I got that song.
Farm is there. And by Wendy's breakfast 2 for $3. Football and apply. Nobody bundle for a picture like our crew, right? But these are one and all.
Seattle, and our crew can't wait to be a part of it.
What do you think posed to the pick 1 to 7? This is a team that has fought so hard. But Oregon took it to them today as Uyangala misses. And I go back to the first drive for the Oregon Ducks. They helpful.
Yep.
Almost as a response to last November.
That's right. And we know that you're physical, and we know the way you want to play. And right out the gate, putting the pressure on DJ and the rest of the crew. And you do really begin to want this season, Jason, and then all of the physical output from a week ago in a just highly contested game in Corvallis. Hard to fill the tank again.
Second down throw. That's caught by Riley Sharp. Take a look at Big Deals, sponsored by is on the run. Face to face with the Oregon
Air build. It was two.
He is relentless.
Into Eugene. And he said, no, not anymore. Nope, I'm going to put 20 pounds on, and I'm going to be a linebacker. Out went Flo, out went Sewell, and in went Vasa, who had played as a linebacker at 205.
Defense for Oregon. Birch was coming again, and they're still flying to the football. Defense for Oregon. Birch was coming again, and they're still flying to the football. This rivalry, he put it very well. He said, if you're a Duck and you tell an Oregon fan that you have a relative who's an Oregon State player, you get an awful look.
Carolina history behind some guy named Clowney. And the numbers are off the charts, eye-popping, but the tape is. And tonight, man, he has been.
Desmond Purchase is on. He got there, and that was the pressure from Blake Purchase to turn over on down. And Dan Lanning said he wanted 4 quarters of dominant football.
Autzen Stadium, he did it with his legs. He did it on that shot. It was just the backbreaker. 10 seconds to go before halftime. And then, well, they put their foot in the ground and they played some hard-nosed football here in the second half. And Dan Lanning's crew is looking up at that scoreboard, and it's a 7. You give up 7 yards. You outrush the Beavers by 50+ and give up 50 yards rushing. You made a statement. This committee loves them. This committee has loved with it.
In a week's time, Oregon stopped by Oregon State last year from getting into the Pac-12 title. To 7, and we go downstairs to Allison Williams.
Thank you very much, Coach Lanning. You knew it would take a complete 4 quarters. How can you just, the way your team got this done in all 3 phases?
Every quarter, our guys. Dude was dialed in, man. Everyone needed advantage of pressure in his face.
Level of focus?
Yes.
And his team's level of focus?
Yes.
Are the same, and they are scary.
Go for it.
I was able to do. And
if something feels good, it really doesn't matter how old you are, then it is not molestation, it's not rape, right?
we wanted to do, we wanted to be for the game this week. We wanted to be the closers of the season this week, and that was our message. Is we wanted to close it out and find a way to close it out. And after what happened last year, with it rolling. We wanted to close it out and find a way to close it out. And after what happened last year, with it rolling in the locker room all along, it was a sick feeling, and so it was a really good football game, and really get after it.
You close this one out, and you get a chance to go play Washington for the Pac. And have it the Huskies.
I'm excited, but I know they are.
Just can't talk about it, right? Like if you say anything
And I know she's at home watching. We just love you and love your family. Thank y'all. Go Ducks.
Conspiracy theorists. So guys, I think looking at things are more out there now than they ever have been before. And it's sort of wrapped up with this nice little sexual orientation. And so this push for normal is like maps, right?
That's to save hundreds. This guy?
Customize and save with Liberty Bibbity.
He doesn't.
When I saw him in '96, I had never seen anything like that. Wow. I met him in '91 as a feature act. And he came back to the Boulder Comedy, and I was the house MC. And now he was a headliner because he had done a spot of the evening at the Improv. And it was different. He was the headliner now. Right. And then I didn't see him again. '92, I didn't see him again. But there were bickerings about this fucking kid that's ripping up fucking rooms. Mm. I mean, there was amongst chitter chat, and they kept saying, his name is Doug Stan. I'm like, I know that motherfucker. He slept at my house one night. Wow. He was so cool. I was the house MC at the Boulder Broker. And it was part of a Tribble. Yeah. He's a book in the Pacific Northwest. Yeah. So he used to book Tuesdays, was the broker. Wednesdays you had off. That sucks for a comic.
That's when then you spend all your money you made on Tuesday.
Yeah, that sucks for a comic. Right, you only get for those nights. In that time, he was giving you $125 a night, and he paid you $50 up front and $75 in a check. Up $50 cash. That's it. So to figure it out, if the headliner was cool, I'd let him stay there. There was a couple guys I let stay there. So
you like Mike or what?
I knew he was funny. Mm-hmm. He was young. He reminded me he was just young. He was a kid. Yeah. He was just a wise ass kid. When I first saw him, this is 1991 is when I won the contest. 92 is when I met Dan. 93. And then I lost a job.
And like I big fan, and then he won the San Francisco Comedy Contest. Dang. Now he was not working the punchlines. He wasn't working. Nobody was hiring that motherfucker. And he popped out. His was so fucking blue. And he was killing it. Like Tribble, you know, when you get the paperwork from Tribble, there's certain hotels that are Mormons. Mm-hmm. Red Lion Inns. You can't go to those fucking places.
They have Mormons?
No, if you do Provo, Utah,
okay,
and it's a Red Lion Inn, they'll tell you that they'll tell you on the fucking paperwork, this is a Mormon room, watch your language. People get offended. Then the next night they put you in a room that says, this is an active room.
Yeah.
If you get something thrown at you, get off the stage immediately and contact the management or go to the hospital. And you're like, what? What?
Do not stop. Do not antagonize.
Yeah, no. It's the being guy. You know, and you know, like I did those in the winter. So the black people, you know, I mean, it's fucking crazy. It's an adventure in itself. You know, I went on a Tribble run for probably 8 months. That's all I lived on was Tribble runs. 2 weeks of the shot, stay on. No, live off the fat of the land for fucking 2 days in your car, going to the movies and sneaking into other movies and staying in there all day. Off Subway sandwich, the veggie and cheese, that type of shit.
What do you miss about that?
Not knowing, because you got the balls of a child.
Yeah, that's
you got the balls of a child. You won't ever take a chance. You won't ever. You know, they got 13,000 in their bank account. And they're like, you know, I'm living day to day, bitch. Yeah, I'm talking about $50 is what I own. This car is what I own. Yeah. When I wake up in the morning, I don't even know if this car's gonna make it to the next gig. But guess what? I'm gonna try my hardest because I'm a fucking professional.
Yeah.
Distinctive level to put yourself in your life. And as a comic, if you're a real comic at one point in your life, when you fall in love with this art, one day, Lee, and you tell me, Joe Diaz, I'm not doing this podcast no more. I'm going to live off my fucking savings and live off $50 a fucking night. And you know what? I'm not going to take a day job. I love this so much. I put away savings. My school loans are paid. I don't know nobody's money. You don't know what that's like to just disappear and get in the fucking car with everything you own, give away your bed, your fucking TV,
give away all your
give away everything. Like Army did. That takes a different mental. When I got in that car in June of 1995, that was the best thing I ever did with my life. Like I had been out in the cold before, I had been alone before. That was a completely different feeling. I was living off what I loved for the first time in my life. Man, not what I had to do, shitty bills and student loans and to pay for fucking shit that I didn't fucking need, a fucking TV or cable TV. You know what it is to disconnect yourself. For people to have conversations about TV and you don't even fucking know. But you want me to tell you what the best thing is about it, Lee? You don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck because you're out there getting on stage every fucking night. You don't give a fuck. You think I gave a... Bro, from 95, I didn't even know what the fuck TV was. I didn't give a fuck about basketball. I gave a fuck about music.
Yeah.
Because that's all I could do was listen to in the car.
Keep you going.
You know, there wasn't books on audio yet. There was nothing. It was a cassette deck with 20 fucking cassettes.
That's it.
Lee, you'll never know what that's like to have no money in the bank, to be in a hotel in Michigan where next door you hear people fucking and 2 doors down he was beating it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because you're going to do what you love so much. That is a fucking feeling that people live all their lives and they never fucking experience of loving something. Trying to be that good at something that there's nothing to it. There's no guarantees when you get into this. If I go to school to be a doctor,
yeah, you could be a doctor.
I could do anything after that. I could be an assistant. You know what? I don't want to be a doctor, but I'll be the highest paid assistant in that fucking office.
X-ray tech.
I'm trying to say to you, you have no idea. Well, it's like when you take a gun and point it at a man and you take a life.
That takes you to a different level in your life. That puts you in a different perspective. That puts you in a different world. You have no disregard for a human life. Now you do it again. Now every time you have a beef with somebody, I come up. Every time I have that takes you to a different level. Now I had tons of practice about not knowing.
Yeah.
In '83.
Oh yeah.
I used to wake up and go to a diner and put breakfast on the arm till 5 o'clock.
Well, you're conditioned. You don't even realize.
$4 a piece. What are you gonna give me the loots for?
I'm gonna give you $8. That's for sure.
$2.50. All right, deal. Give me 4. He wants 25. Yeah, I just made $45. I just covered breakfast, and I can have 2 or 3 more drinks. I get a $20 sack of Coke. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna buy loots and sell more. I'm gonna give me 50 because with Leo's money, I'm gonna flip the other ones and up and dollar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it started minute. So what, Joey? You made $46. When you wake up not knowing, that's fucking 10,000 bank check.
Yeah.
You know,
It's a lottery. That's a lottery when you do that. When you don't know, when you get something, yeah. Man.
You have no idea what I endured from 95 to 2000. People like Josh Wolf will tell you I lived in my car in front of his house. Some nights I went on his couch. Some nights I went to Ralphie May's fucking house and slept there. And I was an addict, but I was working every fucking night.
Right.
I was working. I was on stage 3 times a fucking night at the store following Paul Mooney, doing 2 Mexican rooms in a car that had no brakes, with no insurance and no registration. You understand me? And every time the fucking black lady with the donut hairdo saw it in Hollywood, I got a ticket. I had 2,000 tickets on that fucking car. And it wasn't even my name. It was the casting director's name.
Dude, that's the best, man. That's one thing I do remember about, like, just being a little younger and a little more carefree was having shit in other people, not caring.
You don't give a fuck. I was just telling these guys, I had a car that blew up in New York. Yeah. I took a loan out on that car. Like, I took a loan out on that fucking car when I was a kid. I had the car for 10 days.
Yeah.
And it lit on fire in Harlem. I was getting 8 ball coke. And I went the electrical circuitry way.
Oh, dude.
And I left it there. The next 2-3 days later, I went back and the car was gone. It was just a wishbone. And dog, I took a bank loan out of it, like a $2,000 bank loan, co-signed. I didn't give a fuck. Even the co-signer never said nothing to me about it. I'm like, damn, when is he going to hate on me? I forgot all about it.
Dude, we had this guy named Andy, speaking of fire, he ran into a house fire to get some coke and got all fucking burnt up. And not even a bunch, like a couple grams, dude. And nobody ever kind of brings it up with him, because it's kind of embarrassing, I guess. He burnt up pretty good. But yeah, man, I miss it. Like I had more time to just waste if I wanted to, or just experience. I just miss that freedom of being like, the next 5 years, anything can happen.
Like right now, if I didn't have Mercy and my wife, we would get off the fucking podcast Wednesday afternoon, me and Lee, we'd be on a plane Wednesday night in the red eye. And Thursday, sleep all day, do 2 shows Thursday, get on another plane. 2 shows Friday, get on another plane, do 2 shows Saturday, and come back. I do that 3 times a fuck. Even coming back on fucking Sunday. No, I'm not going to Costa Rica. I'm going to fucking Costa Rica.
See you guys in Costa Rica, man.
Let's say I'm in Miami for a few days. Fuck it, I'll book West Palm. I'll book like Tampa.
Yeah.
Stay in Miami, eat fucking good food, get some sun, and then Wednesday take Lee up to Tampa.
Yeah.
And you're out of town for 2 weeks, and you cover 2 weeks, and you don't have to come home. We can do the podcast on the road. That would be the ideal life right now.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to do that. I wouldn't do anything. What the fuck? I go on the road old school style. 3 weeks a shot. 3 weeks. Fucking stay out there. Lee, you're coming for 3 weeks. We're doing podcasts in Miami, Tampa, and Atlanta, Georgia, or fucking DC. And then come home after 3 weeks. Stay out. Unless you have an audition or something, there ain't no reason I really come home.
Stay out there and get it done. There really isn't.
There really isn't. There
really isn't a reason. I get up every time I get back. I'm like, what am I here for? Just clean clothes, just to see some friends, to go to the Comedy Store. Those are the only things that keep me really, enjoying the atmosphere, man. As a child, Dude, I miss doing drugs when you were young, bro, because you didn't know what the fuck.
How long have you been clean?
You didn't. A little over a year and a half.
How you feel?
I feel good. I feel better. I think I feel a little bit more emotionally okay. My biggest thing wasn't I wasn't addicted to drugs or alcohol, but I was addicted to feeling bad about myself. And when I would get to certain places in those feelings, I would then use drugs. I just ended up doing drugs by myself because I could be by myself. I felt the only place I still felt comfortable, and I could do drugs, which made me feel good. So
you have antisocial issues like I have from time to time.
Yeah, it would just get bad.
Yeah.
And there wasn't anything good because I didn't have any, resources built up that made me feel okay.
Comedy store, is there an anchor at the comedy store that sues you?
Yeah, Adam Agate.
There's always Adam is the booker.
Yeah, booker.
But is there when I see you, you get genuinely?
Oh yeah, I feel you. Yeah. I feel good when I see you.
I have that. I need an anchor at the store.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like the store. Sometimes during the week, you go down there and the halls are empty. And it's a great audience and stuff, but the halls are empty.
But you feel, and
you feel like your anchors aren't there. That's when I get anxiety.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's when I get anxiety. My anchors aren't there. When I'm solo, when I'm by myself.
Yeah.
No Ari, no Joe, no nobody. Yeah, I know Eric Griffin. I love him to death. And I know Neil Brennan. I love him to death.
Right.
But they're not the clique I hang out with. I have no podcast, but it's funny how sometimes you go to the store and there's nobody there.
Yeah.
Like there's nights I go to Flapper and I see young comics and I get happy.
Yeah.
Like that they're still in it for 2 years or 3 years. Sometimes I go to the Improv and you bump into people. Like I just bumped into the guy that created Marijuana Logs. And Doug Ben, and Roger Rittenhouse were roommates. And in like the late 90s, they created this show, like a play. They're doing it. They still do it.
I've heard of it. But I think
they
did in New York, right?
Yeah, they did in New York.
Marijuana Log.
Well, I looked into that guy. I hadn't seen him in 10 years.
Yeah, that's a joy, is seeing people. When you go up there, it's like, I love seeing, certain people. Makes me feel good. Certain people I know I can talk to. People I know are always around. Like Tripoli, I can always talk to Tripoli a little bit because he's always hot on the new conspiracy theory. Somebody's, fucking kids for cheeseburgers or something out in Milwaukee or something, something crazy. There's always something wild. I saw Syed, I think, where was the other night? You had just gotten up and did comedy. Where was that at? The store?
Well, maybe it was either the store, maybe Sam's room.
Yeah, that was exciting, man.
That was crazy.
That was awesome. It lifted my spirits up. Yeah, there's just, sometimes you just get so and I feel safe there. I feel safe at the store.
Thursday and Friday night at the fucking Comedy Works.
Yeah.
But once you get up there, the anxiety becomes...
It must have felt good, bro, walking out on that stage, man.
Well, it always feels energy. And when you do stand-up comedy, that's when you really see it.
Yeah.
Like when you go to yoga, they talk about energy and this and this and this and feeling your body. I never feel dick.
Yeah.
I can't breathe. I can't carry myself. I'm 300 fucking pounds. That's what I feel. What I do feel when I'm on stage is the transformation, anxiety here, a little bit of anger, a little bit of rage, and a little bit of funny.
Yeah.
And that's what that journey taught me. That journey teaches you how to take that fear. Paul Mooney told me, once you stop getting scared, don't go on stage.
A lot of anger for years. A lot of my on stage, it was anger, nothing more, but that I have to use this gift to, help just somehow. So now I feel a little bit more when I get on stage, like I'm here to work for these people. Whereas it used to just be me here to, just prove I can do this. And maybe that was the fighting instinct that I needed to survive in this. But now I feel more comfortable knowing, like, okay, I still get nervous for sure, especially if I'm trying new bits out or if I'm in a new stage. My feet are touching a new stage for the first time. It's like a baby deer being born. But I do feel more now like, okay, this is a team effort. These people, they want to have fun. They're not judging me as much as I just always thought everybody was in my head. And I'm here to help them have a good time, and we're going to work together. I feel that vibe more now.
When you first started, were you frustrated at one point?
Oh, I was fucking angry, dude.
Frustrated with the system, your life, yourself?
I was frustrated with my life, dude. I was frustrated. I was just angry. You know, I had that kind of anger. You know, the same type of just, you know, nobody gives a fuck about poor white people in America, it seems like, you know, except for poor white people. So, you know, I had a little bit of that angst. You know, I knew dude, I mean, you know, I grew up around some fucking real crazy, you know, that dude, you know what I'm saying? He'd get in that lurch, he would catch you with his, between his chest, he would fucking snack you like a snake.
We were talking about this dude.
His boy Gert was his name. And he would just get you like that, bro. And he'd choke you down.
He had no arm.
No arms at all. And he'd fight anybody, dude. And he would choke you. He would.
So if you went to punch him, how would he block?
Oh, bro. He spin out of it. He'd spin, he'd duck, he'd dodge. The dude had, I mean, he just.
And would he catch your hand with his neck?
Huh?
Would he catch your
hand?
He
would just lurch at you. And, bro, the thing is, here was it.
Oh, you know what? If he hits you with that shoulder, you're going down.
Yeah, part of it. The big one was that choke. He would catch you like this.
He catch you your hand?
In your neck. He would catch you.
That's fucking crazy.
Oh, once he got you neck to neck, Gert Yuva, the whole family was fucking.
He could choke you out.
Psychos, bro. Brother had sharpened half of his teeth on one side of his mouth, dude. He could wake you up. One of the kids was in a wheelchair, they never taught him to walk, I think. I don't even think he was crippled. They just never taught him. And so the other brother would carry him on his back everywhere, like a backpack, dude, and didn't even give a fuck.
Maybe it's because these people are away from society, an entire family.
No shirts, bro. Whole family, zero shirts.
No, nobody, those people don't wear shirts.
Not the girl didn't have shirts either. They had one girl in the family. What was her name? Jessica.
She was normal.
She was, you know, she was pretty nice. I thought she was a sweet girl for us to on down there. And they used to put a board over the sink at night, and one of them would sleep over the sinks. They had 11 children. I mean, the house, no joke, was just two of these studios. You know, and they had 11 kids in there. But yeah, it's like I grew up in that type of environment where it's just like, I don't know, you don't feel like anybody gives a fuck about you. So I think it took a long time for that to get out of my system. I still feel it when I go around like really rich people who think that they know everything. Man, that stuff makes me mad.
Yeah, it's funny. I was telling Lee that this morning I woke up. I mean, I slept so much yesterday, and last night I fucking slept. I woke up like at fucking 4:30 in the morning, wide awake, ready to fucking kill Monday, ready for kickboxing at 9. And I did my usual shit. I went over my audition, you know, the sides, and I wrote it out, and I wrote my stuff for the day, and then I went and I fucked around. I went on Messenger. Like, you ever go on Facebook Messenger?
Mm-hmm.
I went on Messenger just to see, because sometimes messages accumulate. You know.
Yeah, you get some.
I got a message this morning. It was like the weirdest thing. It was like fate. I was telling Lee when I came in, I go, Lee, well, you done in the green room with me all weekend? And Lee goes, yeah. I go, Lee, I got an email today from a couple.
Yeah.
I went to the Facebook page. I didn't even answer them back. But the first line was, you're a sham. Like a scam, like whatever that word is.
Mm-hmm.
A farce.
A farce or something.
Mm-hmm.
We went to see you Friday night, and we could visibly tell that you were on cocaine.
No.
Oh my God, they were genies. They were like drug geniuses. They had to be Rogan people. When I went back to their page, they had 10 pictures of Rogan. They went to see Rogan like in 8 places. They're the ones that always ask Rogan annoying questions on the road. Like,
yeah.
And Rogan will look at them like, are you fucking crazy?
There's no better look than when Rogan gives that
Rogan
look.
gives you that look.
Are you fucking crazy?
They just say stupid shit to Rogan to seem intellectual. And there's 200 people behind you, guy. Chit, let's go. Take a hike. Take the picture. Take a fucking hike.
Yeah.
So you could tell he's one of those guys that he'll see Rogan and right away call me a farce, that I was obviously on cocaine, that there was no way that I was clean, that my energy levels on stage were too high for my age for me to be on cocaine. He said, but I knew how to hide it. You weren't sniffling or wiping your nose. Dog, as soon as you do a line of coke, this shit starts dripping out of your fucking nose. It's the first tell. I could look at somebody now. Now I could really see it.
Oh, yeah.
Then, when I was under the influence, I couldn't see it. Now I could really see it.
Dude, everybody, my buddy, this one dude used to put his favorite start. You get do a little dust, you know? Start touching his asshole, bro. By the end of the night, if we had a couple of bags, he'd have 4 fingers in his fucking ass, dude. He had like a, you know, some of those people eat their hair. You see those videos where people eat their hair, you know? He just had like a weird tick like that, where he would just, I don't know what it was. He just like
under the pants. He would go in the pants.
Oh, in his ass, in his own ass.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I had a guy that used to do this. He would hold up, like he would be talking to you, and he'd go. And he would tighten up his neck.
Don't do that, bro.
He would just flip out from time to time.
Oh, dude, yeah.
And then I had another guy that when he'd get coked up, he was bald, so he always felt like something was landing on his head. So every 8 minutes, he would tell you this, shh, and he would look at point. Is there a bug? Do you see it like type? But you that's what was
like he wants you to be an investigator for him?
Yeah, like, come on, do I have anything on my head? Let me know. It's like those people tell you your nose is clean. I got anything on my nose? Yeah. He would look at me. He didn't have to say them. He would, let's say he started snoring at 11 with me.
Yeah.
By 1:30, that would start. He wouldn't get paranoid. He wouldn't drive me crazy. He wouldn't say a lot of shit. He would just tell me that he had a spider on his head. And after 2 or 3 hours, he would start smacking his head.
Oh, come on.
And that's when you would fucking die of laugh. He would.
Be honest, Joey. After like the first couple of times he asked you, would you just start like looking above his head, just like, I think there's something on your foot?
Oh, I tortured him for days. That poor bastard. I think he stopped hanging with me because one night he must have smacked himself 90 fucking times in 3 hours. He was punching himself in the head because I kept telling him I'm feeling spiders. I tortured. There was like I've tortured 18 people in there. Even when I'm high, I get be fucking stoned.
Oh yeah.
The best torture I ever did, ever in my 55-year existence, was to my ex-wife in San Francisco on acid. That was one of the best times I ever had in my life, ever by myself. I kept telling her, get it together, you gotta pick your father up at the airport. And she was coming in. I mean, it was fucking crazy.
That's a good one, too.
I had her looking for her keys. And then I had a Bruce Lee poster, and I would look at it and look at her and go, don't tell her. And she would look at me at the Bruce Lee poster. I was tormenting her one night, that poor girl. You wonder why she hates me with all my fucking heart.
That's cool. That's so vague and good at the same time.
9 hours, you're just burning. We were burning. We were burning. It was 1985. We were burning.
Bunch of koalas playing volleyball with your brain, bro.
I got it in San Francisco. Hour and a half is mild, and then it just goes into overdrive. Hearing shit.
Yeah.
You can't focus on the TV. Only music beyond. You all right? You feeling that?
I'm thinking about how, like when you're on acid, how can you torture somebody? Like that's like.
Well, you just think of something that's casual enough just to catch a little bit of their, just a couple of their senses at the same time, and people will squirrel out, dude. My buddy made it, put him out in the yard on a mattress one time. It's the only way he could function, dude. Another buddy of mine took all his clothes off and started driving. Drove for like 5 hours. Dude, we have no clue where he went, and he came back in the morning, and he was still, he was out of gas, but he was.
And butt ass naked?
Still butt ass naked. Yeah. Some people just have to, they get in the lane when they're on the dust, man.
Let me tell you something, bro.
I miss that.
There was a time in this country where if a movie came out, there was an undercurrent, and there wasn't Twitter, and there wasn't Facebook, and there wasn't social media, but there was an understanding that if you went to see that movie, you were going to see that movie on acid. Wow. Okay, that was it. When we were younger, we like in the 7th and 8th grade, we get together on a Saturday, and we get in a bus, the number 1 bus to Jersey City, and we'd go behind a fucking alley, and we'd smoke 10 joints when you're in the 7th grade, and we'd get fucking baked.
Oh yeah.
And go in and see the Pink Panther movies or Kentucky Fried Movie. They were just movies that that you knew you weren't going to see that movie straight. Like your days are going to see straight movies with your fucking family world.
Yeah, we did that. Rocky Horror Picture Show. That was a big.
I did that later on.
Right.
Like we went to see all the rock movies. At that time, all the theaters had midnight showings of rock movies. There wasn't a lot of them. There was 10 of them.
Yeah.
They were all in rotation. Pink Floyd, Live at Pompeii, The Song Is the Same, Neil Young, and Crazy Horse, Neil Young. There were a couple of movies that were hour and a half that you knew you were going to see them at midnight on Friday night. And that's what you and 20 of your friends did. But the most vivid movie I still remember going to see that. It was the way that you did acid. Was Apocalypse Now. Like it was known that you You were not going to see that movie.
Based on what? Who told you that?
That was the word on the street. Before the movie even came out, like that was it. Going to see that on acid. Like, that was it. Everybody's doing acid and going. And like 20 of us would go and do fucking acid and go inside. You would hear people. Oh, it was 3D glasses without the 3D glasses. When they were doing the fucking scenes with the strippers and shit, that scene blew my mind because they did the Redux and they added all the Dutch scenes and shit. This is before all that. Fuck the Dutch. So when they were bombing them with the things, you're tripping your fucking balls off in the movie theater. We ate this acid that was double barrel sunshine. And we all went to see. I still remember vividly who I went to see that movie with. And what one of the guys did, this guy, John Crowley, there was a Carvel in that movie. Oh, this was the Fairview Cinema.
The Carvel cakes with ice cream?
Yeah, but there was a fresh store. And somebody went into the movie theater and threw the cone down. And it was melting, and then a few ants around it, and there was a long line. And he goes, watch, I'll cut in front of the line. They picked up the fucking ice cream and stuff. We were all on it. It was John Crowley started eating the ice cream. And everybody in that line fucking froze, and we just walked in like we owned the joint.
People on acid were fucking eating.
No, people on acid were watching my friend eat a cone of ice cream that was melting with ants on it. He picked it up and ate it. You think people were going to fuck with him after that? And then the movie started. They might go up downstage and tell self up on acid. He went up there. He's like, can I have your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen? And there people were fucking howling because they had just seen them eat a fucking ice cream cone outside with ants on it and shit. I went to all those. Another time, I went to a movie. I went to see ACD with a friend of mine, Kurt DiLorenzo, God bless his soul. And we did and boo. Oh, yeah. Me and him were tight. And one night he pulled the lead on him. Me, him, and this kid, Louis Castellino, went to a movie. I can't remember what movie it was. But on the way home, we were on fucking fire. Yeah. Like the acid was beaming. We were tripping. We were seeing shit.
That's crazy, bro.
And I think it was Louis Castellino kept saying, guys, I keep hearing sirens. And there were sirens. But I kept telling him, I don't hear no sirens. And the other dude played along with me. He's like, I don't hear no sirens. We kept walking. There must have been a fire somewhere. There's sirens everywhere. This guy's like, what's going on? Why are there sirens? And we're like, we don't hear no fucking sirens. Knock it off. And it had just rained. Like, movie theater here rained. Like, it rained water on it. Now we're fucking with him for at least 15 minutes about the fucking sirens. He's hitting his ears and shit. He's like, I gotta make it stop. I gotta go away. We're fucking howling. And there's a hole filled with water. And I'll never forget, he bent over and took the water and started coming on his face.
That's
he started splashing the water on his face. But I still hear the sirens and we're like, listen, knock it off. And after about another block of getting towards it, he just took off. The next day we saw him, he was like, that was fucked up last night. He goes, I went home. I can't hear the sirens. Oh my God. That is the best when you take somebody down on Kennedy Boulevard dog and splash water on his face. From the pothole, I nearly fight. It was right across from Fairview fucking Diner. We enjoyed, and there was a little hill, so there was a couple inches of water when he bent. The street was still wet. But dog, when he bent over and splashed water on his face, that was the killer right there.
I wonder if there's like an increase in like mental institution, like in that.
So if you were a new person, you didn't know, you'd be like, what the fuck, man? You'd think you were tripping even harder. Dude, we had time, and I remember bad acid would come through town, and like everybody would start acting a certain way. People would start, I remember one time people wore like a bunch of like kind of, Grateful Dead type of stuff. People wore vests. They'd have like a bad batch of acid would come through next. Half the town's wearing fucking vests. Women are gelling their hair down. I remember one time, dude, they had this one dude that apparently had taken a bunch of acid. He put it in his mouth, and for $4, whatever, he would spit into your mouth like a hit of acid.
Why would you do something like that? That's disgusting.
But there wasn't anything else to do.
So I'm gonna let some fucking stranger spit acid in my mouth. For $4, I can put the acid in my mouth for free.
But we didn't have it.
Oh, you didn't have the $4.
We had the $4, but we didn't have the acid. He had it inside of his system. And for $4 or in his, he put it in his mouth. And then for $4, he fucking fired it into you. So next thing you know, bro, we spent about $36. We're fired up, dude, at this dude's party. This dude, I'll tell you, this dude, Icy Mike, right? So this in like an extra freezer. Like they don't want you stealing their meat, so they put it in like a special freezer down in the basement, or the freezer has you open it like that, and the whole thing's a freezer. There's no refrigerator. You know what I'm talking about? Like a big freezer.
Yeah, the old school.
Yeah. So these people had, this dude Icy Mike would get water from different places. Fucking local water, fancy Lake Mead, Lake Pontchartrain, Mississippi River, and freeze it. It was kind of.
Are you sure it just wasn't? He just didn't write it on the bottle.
Oh no, you could taste it was from different places, man. Some of it was brackish, some of the shit was fucking, Iceland.
Where did Icy Mike get the fucking water from?
Different places.
He went himself?
Oh, maybe his family went. I think his dad did some kind of traveling work.
You thought he brought back gallons of fucking water? Have you lost your goddamn mind?
Bro, I'm telling you, there's no other way.
I got tricked.
Nuh-uh, there's no way he could have gotten these flavors in this water.
What fucking flavors? They did this. Remember when Penn and Teller did a show called Bullshit?
Yeah.
10 years ago in this fucking town in Beverly Hills, there was a water bar with these idiots went in there when they would drink fresh water, different curated water. So one day, fucking Penn and Teller went in there, and they took the hose from the back, and they gave people that hose water, and they asked them what they thought. And you should have seen my people making assholes of themselves.
Wow.
This water is nutty, it's tasty. And they would even give us 3 glasses of the same water. And these fucking morons.
Dude, this guy wasn't smart enough to do that, though.
Yes, he did. He tricked you motherfuckers.
But
he had no proof.
You got ice from around the world.
Yeah, what do you do? Send me a gallon of water? Call. Who the fuck are you going to call? All right.
No, we loved it. It was good, man.
It was water from the fucking neighborhood, like they put on his face. I'm telling you.
But let me tell you what happened, dude.
Are you fucking crazy?
Bro, yeah, it was exotic shit, man. If you could see the bottles and stuff, and he had, he'd get the trays of it and break everybody off a fucking cube. We'd all be sitting there having something,
What he did was he sold you a dream, which was cool that he did that. He was a great guy for doing that. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
He took your mind away from the fucking whole day. He bullshitted you. He said, I got this from Antarctica, and there you are. Someday I'm going to Antarctica. That's what happens.
Okay.
It happens. Trust me. Listen, when I lived in Jersey, I dreamt of fucking getting out of Jersey.
Yeah.
When you hear Bon Jovi, I love Bon Jovi because Bon Jovi is really from New Jersey.
Yeah.
When he did Slippery When Wet and the one after that, there's some songs of his lyrics are in that one, Never Say Goodbye, like that Slippery When Wet song, like We Break Loose. Like when I was a kid, that's all I always knew there was something out there.
Right.
Like I'm in New Jersey, and I love North Bergen, I love my friends, but I gotta tell you something, I always knew there was something out there. I wasn't going to stay there. I knew that was not going to be my calling. I knew I was not. And I lived 8 minutes from New York, the place where everybody wants to be. And I loved it. And I was telling my wife, my most favorite neighborhood in the world is the Bronx. If I could go back into a city that was the way it was in the 80s, murder zone. But the food was out of this fucking world, 1971, and I would spend my weekends up there. It was fucking great. Eggs.
Everything. I love dry cleaning too. I love the smell of that.
I love the fucking Bronx. Like, I love all that type of. Now it's very gentrified and stuff.
Oh, yeah. New York's changed, man.
Fuck, I go back to New York. I can't believe it.
What is it now? The city is everybody's just rich people.
I can't believe it.
You can't even get mugged in Alphabet City anymore.
Bro, there's not even people out at night, like 2 or 3 in the morning, like they used to. This very select. The streets are empty. I remember closing the bar and taking the fucking bridge over.
Yeah.
The tunnel over and just like going, what do you want to do, dog?
Whatever.
Let's go over, get a brown bag of beer, and sit on the fucking corner. That's what we do.
Yeah.
Well, you got a job? Come on, no, neither do I. You got 20, I got 20. Let's go to the city, pick up a 20. 4 for the toll, and we'll get a 6-pack. 2 6-packs, we'll bring up the fucking
You can't have any fun anymore. I remember the first time I went, dude, was eating. I remember a couple lesbians brought me back to their apartment. And I ended up stealing a sex toy out of there because I got a little bit keyed up on some cocaine and got nervous. But you could have fun though.
Did you sniff it or jerk off? Is that why you the sex toy?
Dude, well, here's what I whenever
I used to steal chicks' panties.
Oh, bro, I would steal something every time.
On the way home, I'd jerk off in the panties and throw them out of the fucking car like a savage.
Dude, okay. Bro, one time I was with this girl and I was so drunk, bro. She was driving us and I had to puke so bad, and I just took my hat off my head, filled it, just vomited right into it, right? Just threw it right out the window, just kept talking to her like nothing had happened. Dude, another time, this dude, my buddy, Billy Conforto, rest in peace, bro. He died. He drove into an embankment. But he used to do pills and everything, and we were bus boys together. We were co-bus boys, even though he was about 35 or 40, He looked like Don Flamenco. You know who that is from Mike Tyson's Punch-Out? The little Italian guy, and he's like,
No.
He looked like that guy, but without the roses and about an extra 20 pounds, and he was also homosexual. But he gave me some pills, gave me some somas one night or something. I think tried to maybe take advantage of me. I don't remember. That's a good thing about pills is, you know what I'm saying? If you did get molested, you don't really have to remember it. But I remember this girl, this hot chick that I knew was at this bar we ended up at, and I was like, I need a ride home. I mean, I sat in my passenger seat. She drove us home. While she's driving, I vomited all over her, right? And the only thing I remember is we made plans to go to church the next morning. So in the morning, I come out of my house, have no clue how I got home, open the car door, and there's vomit everywhere except like in the shape of this woman right on the front car seat. And I went over to church, and she was there, and she looked at me like I was the devil himself, man.
You barked on this poor girl.
Yeah, she was a sweet girl too, man. And she has children now because I seen on Instagram she has some children.
You still follow her?
Yeah, I still kind of peep at her shit sometimes, dude. But I miss old days, man. I miss doing acid.
You miss doing drugs. Does your mind? There was a time where if I didn't have coke, there was no reason to go out.
Yeah.
I'm not going to that bar if I'm not snorting.
Yeah.
There's no reason. Like I equivalated. It was the equivalent. Like if I didn't have coke, I couldn't have fun. That was it.
Yeah.
From the ages of 18 to 25, I didn't have. That was my fun. I didn't want to go to the movies. I don't want to go to a park. I don't want to see nothing. So once I stopped snorting coke, that whole world disappeared. Which I wanted gone anyway. That was the part I didn't like about the drugs.
Yeah, it's a dirty world after a while.
It's a dirty world after a while.
Because you're up late with a bunch of creeps.
I didn't like that anymore. Like at the end, the last 5 or 6 years, I snorted by myself.
Yeah, that's how
If you were a girl and I knew you before you went up into my cave, your cave, I'm letting you know right now, if I give you half this coke, I'm going to eat your asshole later.
Yeah.
I would let them know. That's the only way. And if they would start irritating me, then I'd fucking get pissed.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be worth the blowjob because they would drive me fucking crazy all fucking night. I'd rather hang out by myself because people drove me crazy.
Yeah, maybe that's how I think I got, man. That's my fear.
I was very antisocial.
Yeah, I got
very antisocial. I was social for what was necessary.
Yes.
To change.
The coke was just a side effect of, a progression of that feeling or whatever that was. Because cocaine allows you to be by yourself. You're like, it gives your brain a quick reason. Oh, I got to go do this by myself. Anyway, that's what it did for me anyway.
That's what it did for me too. Like, yeah. Now I have fun. Like,
Yeah.
It took me 2 or 3 years after the coke to even have, when I first got into comedy, it was a new thing for me. Like, I fell in love.
Wow.
It was my wife. That was it.
Yeah.
And that road life, you just meet girls.
Oh, road is fun, man.
And they know what time it is.
Yeah.
They take you back to this piece of ass. and I'm leaving in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
And communication is zero. Ain't nobody falling in love here. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna tell nobody. You ain't gonna tell nobody. We're gonna do a couple dirty things, and I'll leave town. And never see each other again. And
look at some fat ankles hanging out of a bed sheet. And I'm out of town.
I didn't want anybody at that time.
Right.
I love comedy so much. I didn't want anybody. I was having a great time sleeping in that car. I was having a great time some nights sleeping in a Motel 6, and some nights sleeping at a fucking Hilton. You didn't know until you got there. You know, this week Lee stayed at the condo in Denver. Yeah. That's his introduction.
Fucking luxury, bro.
I know.
Fucking Lee taking it easy, dude.
Wait till he goes to the condo in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
And they got sperm on the sheets.
Wait till you get out there.
And, you know, and like I said, you know, I got Lee, for you to make that level in your life jump, there's got to be a little suffering. You got to do a little something somewhere along the line.
You're going to have to you're going to have to suffer.
That's what takes you to the next level. You being at home comfortable thinking that your world is never going to break apart. You never know what it is to fall in love with something, and that nothing means nothing.
You got to get attacked somewhere.
You have no idea what it's like to fall in love with comedy where nothing means nothing. Your mother, your father, that's
nothing, bro.
Your car is your best friend.
Can't even see.
And your notebook next to you.
Yeah, you don't give a
your
fuck.
Computer, your clothes are hanging in the back. Your trunk's got a spare tire, a
cum in the trunk,
a blanket, a fucking knapsack. You got a stove back there. Mm-hmm. You got a P.O. box, and you got a pager. You don't even call people no more. Everything's done on the computer. Do you know what that life is? And to have zero money in the bank and just depend on your comedy?
No.
It's a fucking adventure, and that's what life is, Lee.
Yeah, you gotta get out there, bro.
It sounds like a blast. It sounds like, other than being like completely broke, like honestly, that's a scary part about this. Like
it lets you know, because for years I thought you weren't anything. I was really under the you to believe that you're nobody if you don't have all those things. And guess what? When I fell in love with comedy, I didn't want them anymore. I didn't need them. It was the weirdest fucking thing.
You got a new currency now.
28 fucking years. All I wanted was to sell drugs and be a kingpin and be that guy that would go to a bar and buy Dom Perignon. And by the age of 31, when I got divorced, I didn't even want to make a salary.
Yeah.
I wanted to live off the fat of the land. I wanted to pay for my sins.
Yeah.
And that was it. Like, it was great not having credit cards. Like, I went from having every credit card to having none.
Yeah.
Everything was done by cash. You know that Gilbert Esquivel has a good joke about it. You know, he does an imitation of that dude. If you're a Mexican, if you cash checks at, you're a Mexican if you cash your checks at the liquor store.
Yeah.
That was me. I cashed my checks on Whitley in Hollywood from $15 ones to $60 ones. And they were all special. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah. You're running that, moment to moment.
And that's what happens to people. They don't know that side of the coin. So when they come here and there's a little disappointment, I'm going to become a director or a producer.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm going to shoot commercials. Go fuck yourself.
Shoot yourself. That's what I say.
You never have to afford
it. Sometimes I feel like one of my biggest fears is getting too comfortable. Sometimes one of my biggest fear is getting comfortable.
No, you never get comfortable. Like, that's what else this whole life taught me. But it's 7 days a week. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about watching TV. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
This was the life that I chose.
Yeah.
And people still get mad at me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right, this is it.
You know, people still till 27 years later do not comprehend that I really don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
That now I give a fuck a little bit more because of my family.
Because you got that family.
I'm not missing nothing.
Yeah.
Other than San Diego. He held on every year. He came out here. He didn't believe me.
Wow.
He don't come no more.
Wow.
It took him 10 years. He thought, when I tell you, I don't have 4 hours to drive to San Diego. Yeah. I can have an audition tomorrow. I'm wasting my time dressed up with a bunch of people looking like superheroes.
Yeah.
I'm here for business. I didn't come out here to fucking go to the beach or to roller skate. And those are the people that fail, and then they bitch at you. They get mad at you. It was too much time. There's no good time. There's no good time.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, man.
It took me 10 years. It took me till I was 31 to realize there's no good time. Whatever 1995 was, I was 32.
Wow.
There's no more good time. Studio 54 closed.
Yeah.
That was it. Where's Tony Bennett, cocksucker?
Yeah, I think about that. Yeah, I think about that sometimes, man.
And then people complain, but they didn't sacrifice.
I wanna be around to pick up the pieces when somebody breaks.
You think that ice was fake, man?
Oh, fuck yeah. Don't worry about it. Man, who gives a fuck?
He just ruined his childhood, I think.
No, he took you away for the day like a drug. He made you think you were in Morocco. And you had fucking water from Michigan, that Flint water.
Somebody who will
I don't know, man. We had some shit from Lake Powell one time that was fucking.
as you used to do with me.
Pretty hardy.
Who lead you to
I miss those days, man.
company.
That good acid.
LSD.
I mean, I wanna be.
No, I miss that. I miss it. Don't miss it. I miss it, and I don't miss it. I do not ever want to be in that world again, man. Ever.
Do you feel like you made the? But you probably have a feeling you feel like you made the most out of that time. That you got the most out of that time.
It started when I was 16 and ended when I was 4 years old.
Yeah.
That was it. I had ups and downs. I went to prison. And it was all that drug. Now I see when people have problems, it takes me just a little while and I'll figure out why they have problems.
Yeah.
It's a drug. It's a drug.
Yeah.
And you did the right thing. When you look at all the famous comics and look at the ones that fucked around with drugs, didn't end good for nobody.
Yeah.
Pryor, the Kennisons, the Mitch, doesn't end good. Mitch Hedberg was on another level. I saw that motherfucker on another level.
Really?
Dog, I was here when they closed the Improv on a Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah.
To showcase Mitch Hedberg. Monday was for fucking writers and producers, and Tuesday was for showrunners.
Wow.
Like, that's the strength of Mitch Hedberg.
But they don't even do like that shit anymore.
Like when Mitch Hedberg died, I was furious that day. I still remember like cursing him to somebody like that dumb motherfucker.
Wow.
And like a year later, I had to call that person and go, I was just angry because people die to get to that level.
Yeah.
I love Mitch. I didn't talk to Mitch probably the last couple of years of his life. I didn't really see him. I didn't see him. He was living on the road in a fucking trailer with the girl.
Yeah.
God bless his soul.
Yeah, when you get bent up, you're not spending time with your friends. You're not spending time with your loved ones.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Whenever you're fucked up, whenever you're really getting fucked up, like him, I'm sure, you're not hanging out with your buddies, your sister. You know what I'm saying? You hang out with other people that are partying.
It's funny. There was a time where I thought maybe someday, with the grace of God, I could get Eddie Murphy done, and I'd be doing coke and have like entourage. That's not what I ever wanted.
Yeah.
It's never. I don't like the entourages or, who the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just didn't. I've always been an only fucking. I love it.
Yeah.
I love doing what I do. I enjoy it. I'm really happy that I got to find. Like, how happy are you that you got to find what you're gonna do the rest of your life? We're all very uncertain.
Yeah.
I knew when I thought about getting a job in New York, like a friend of mine said to me, listen, I can still get you like a runner job.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to cover up the felony and everything. And I thought about it for a while. I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I thought I wanted to do it. I really thought it was adventurous. But once I heard the comedy lifestyle and I read the books and I did just not knowing. Just that gift of not knowing, just knowing I'm going to pick up $50 today.
Right.
And I have to cover my hotel, but guess what? Today I'm doing what I love doing. What the fuck? What the fuck? You're going to get a job that you hate, and then meet a girl, you're going to marry her, you're both going to get fucking fat, and then you're going to start owing money, and now your job owns you. You got to work 6 days a week to make that fucking nut, and then guess what happens? One day you just die from the fucking stress. One day you just die from the fucking stress. just to have luxurious office. I drive a fucking Subaru.
Right.
For that, I was looking at, they had coming out, 200,000 for a car, 100,000 for an Escalade to impress your fucking friends and the people around you.
Yeah.
What the fuck you drive? I sat that night on my birthday before the comedy store. I went to Dan Tanner's and I sat out there and watched the people driving and what they were pulling up with. And I pulled up with a white fucking Subaru with my wife. And people were looking at me. You know what, man? That makes me happy. I don't live for nobody. I don't need to drive a BMW.
Yeah.
It's such a great thing that I let go. That's what comedy did for me. It made me thwart that thinking that money made you. Money doesn't make you at all. Money don't do shit for you.
Yeah.
Money don't do shit for you at the end of the fucking day. When you realize that money don't do shit for you, your life changes completely. Your mood and your day is created by you.
I love that.
It's the fucking truth. I felt good without money, and I felt good with money. I felt good in both avenues because sometimes without money, I'm telling you, I'm in a hotel condo. I'm in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The condo smells like foot and ass. I just had a Chinese lunch, 2 joints, and the wait to get me a half gram of Coke tonight, and I'm still gonna have $10 left over for tomorrow to get a sandwich at fucking Subway.
Yeah.
I'd sit there and watch TV all day and write fucking stupid jokes, but at least it was not doing something I didn't want to fucking do.
Right.
I remember towards the end when I sold cars. The last year I sold cars, I got fired from every job. I just...
What kind of cars was y'all selling?
It didn't matter.
Yeah.
Jeep Eagle, Subaru, used car
like
lot.
Jeeps.
I got fired from every job. You know why? Listeners to call comedy clubs.
Yeah.
And then I wouldn't even sell cars. I'd talk to people, salary a week, and they do that for 90 days until they fire. I'm very happy with the 250. It helped out my cause. My cause was comedy. It was
keep it cruising.
Yeah, I was just looking for a job. That's why you get yourself those no responsible telemarketing jobs.
The Tony Little Gazelle freestyler.
Yeah, you pay $18 an hour, anywhere from 12 to 18 an hour, dog. Yeah, you can make anywhere from 12 to 18 an hour.
Miss Voodoo's magic shirt.
It's up to you to fucking sell cigar and smoke it on Vanity magazine or some fucking magazine cover. So you would go to bars and women would be smoking cigars. Oh,
that's hilarious.
It was terrible in Hollywood. Women smoking cigars.
I'd love to see some big tits with a fucking cigar ash on them, bro.
Oh, they all had them. All of them were smoking cigars. So the hot thing was when you went to a bodega in like Harlem, you could buy a cigar. They would have a humidor, like a fake humidor. So I would sell you the whole package for $300.
Yeah.
On the phone, and my commission was like I could negotiate it. I could do it for $275 if I wanted to, and still make a yardstick. I would sell 3 of those a fucking day, and go home. That's the side of comedy that you have to understand is not known sometimes.
Yeah, I guess there were times like that for sure, you know, where it's like, I guess there were times where I felt like, fuck, is this the thing for me? And those are the moments I think when this continues to choose you, you know?
Yeah, but the first 7 years of this shit, it's like anything else. You're doubting yourself the whole time.
Yes.
It's that little sign you get for trying. Yeah. You get a little sign for trying. Every 90 days, you get a little like a reward for sticking with it.
Yeah.
Well, next thing you know, you've been doing it for 3 years. And next thing you know, you've been doing it for 4 years. Next thing you know, you're doing it for 7 years. Now, guess what? Now you're at a crossroads in your life. And this is what anything you're doing at 7 years.
Yeah.
You know, and now you have to make a move for it.
Yeah, that's the crazy part.
Crazy Chicago, leaving Indiana, leaving those other cities to go to New York to showcase cities and doing, you know. Do you watch Crashing? This week was an interesting show. Like, I watched Crashing. I watch every episode. And I can't tell you that I don't like every episode. Like, not every episode is my favorite. But this season, it's really picked up. Last week, it was about Artie, about him confronting Artie about his drug problem and trying to help Artie out. And this week, it was about when a comic dates a girl. But it was very interesting. That's how you know it was written by a comic. A comic dates another female comic. They start dating shit that's fuck them in the ass and move on. But do not. And that's where the tension starts. and this is something that if you're a young comic, listen to this. This is a very good episode, and you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So they get the NACA. For those who don't know what NACA is, it's a convention that you go to, and there's a bunch of colleges there.
It's the worst,
and you get on stage, and a bunch of colleges bid for you.
I bombed at that.
And sometimes you bond because you were yourself.
Yes.
So what happened is they get the NACA, him and her go downstairs, and they get an orientation. By the way, you can't talk about rape, this, that,
hair loss, anything, diabetes.
So she went up the first night and did her fucking act. And she said that she went to college and got roofied and raped, and they call it roofie. Like how can you give something that cute something that bad a cute name, like right. Roofie? She sold, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then they show her standing out there by herself. Nobody's talking to her. And then Maria Villasenor from Saturday Night Live was there, and she went up there and did impersonations, and she was getting people, and she was giving away buttons. So, what's his name?
Pete Holmes?
Pete Holmes was sitting there. He's watching all this, and he goes, wait a second. So he ran across the street to a gas station to look for something to give away after the show so people would stop by him.
Mm-hmm.
And the shirt said, gas it up. So he went back and signed. He bought a bunch of shirts for $2 a piece. And he signed them, watched what was working, and he didn't do his act. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like he watched what was working. Hi guys, college kids, you know. Remember guys, duct tape, and the kids are laughing, and he was doing material that college kids laugh at.
Right.
And
I didn't.
And then afterward, he wrote a joke about how he did an Arnold Schwarzenegger. He ended with an Arnold Schwarzenegger impression.
Yeah.
He says, "Gas it up." And afterward, he got like 6, 8 colleges. People loved him. He did great. And in the room, she confronted him. And she goes, I'm dating a guy that told 20 comics that I saw on the road. And I'm like, these motherfuckers are going to be stars. But they moved to LA, and they take advice from their agent. And they start writing material to sell a TV show instead of writing material that comes from their heart, what they really, really say. Because what comedy is your world colliding with another world, and how you live in it. That's it. How you see that. Because what comedy is your world colliding with another world, and how you live in it. That's it. How you see. That's what comedy is. How I collide with the world. You know what I'm saying? There's a stop sign. You can stop, or you can fucking go through it. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be a comic, you need that little je ne sais quoi of rebel in you. There's got to be a little.
You got to have that touch.
There's got to be a little original rebellion in you.
A little wigger, a little free wigger.
It was a great episode because she told him, you played for them. You didn't do your act.
And what did he say?
That he's broke, and this is a career move, and blah, 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 which a lot of people have done in colleges, and they do great. Colleges pay great, and it's a great living. But like I said, you change your act. It's like being an act on a ship. I have nothing against it. It's a fucking living.
Yeah.
You hear that siren? I don't hear nothing.
The ship I could do, but I couldn't. I remember going to NACA in Nashville, and I ate it, bro. But I did
one college?
I did my shit. I booked a couple of them.
Did you like doing them?
No, I didn't like it.
Let me give some shout out. Colorado, who showed up at 22 pounds. B from Colorado, who showed up at 22 pounds. I'm sorry I didn't get to see you. John E. McClain. Rasta Jeff, you bad motherfucker. Brian Allen. Christopher Berryman. Jimbo Slice. Benzo. Omar Rodriguez. And my man, Jack Shipway. And I really want to give a shout out to them for fucking coming out and supporting. That meant the world to me, guys. They were great shows. Lee went up on Saturday night.
How'd you feel, Lee?
Oh my God, it was amazing.
That's awesome.
It was just crazy being on that, because I've heard about that stage for years, and then I know Rogan filmed a special there, and it was crazy. It was an amazing experience.
That's awesome.
And then it was just because I know I'm very lucky with the audiences and going up in front of. Like the reaction I'm getting isn't for what I'm saying necessarily.
Yeah, they're excited to see you though. But you've earned that, they're excited to see you. You got me in that club, man, the one out there. Thank you.
Yeah, she's a nice lady.
They're cool.
It's a great club.
Yeah.
It's been there for fucking since I started, and it was there 10 years before I started.
Wow.
And she does a great job with the club. If you look at the lineup when you're there, it's a great variety. Did you know they were clean?
Really?
She knows how to book a room. See, people think that I want a guy in front of me cursing.
Right.
She knows how to book a room. See, people think that I want a guy in front of me cursing.
Right.
She understands that. Wendy is a fucking genius, where other people, that's why you have to bring a feature or something. You know, there's just a bunch of clubs that they pay you up with their favorites.
Yeah.
Because they're dirty, and now the people hear 3 comics saying fuck.
Yeah, it's a rap.
Wendy's a genius. You understand?
I didn't
That's
hear
why
that.
I don't want to do dirty shows.
Right.
Because I'm the headline after 10 comics going up there and being dirty.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the worst, man.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. So she's. You didn't catch that.
No, I didn't see them
They
do
didn't
their
even
stuff.
say fuck.
Oh.
That's why the audiences were so good, because she's brilliant. She knows how to book a fucking room.
Yeah, you don't burn them out before.
And she puts heat in front of you.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of the scariest rooms in the country, because those guys are in town that week.
Wow.
Like, a lot of times, you know, when I was opening up down there, like when I first started going down there, you went down there on a Thursday. Ooh, you had to follow. You had to follow Todd Jordan, Rick Kearns, Lori Callahan. They were all headliners. They're all hitters. Huh? Yeah, hitters. And you're going down there as the headliner and going, dog, I'm working double quick.
Yeah.
I'm working double
I hated
quick.
that, man. But that put you on the spot. I mean, I had weekends. I had a weekend one time where it was like, fuck, this feature is better than me. And I got to step my game up. You know, he got busted for murder actually a few years ago, though. So
did he really?
He really did. Yeah. But
what's going on with your special, cuz? What are you hearing? What are you doing?
Trying to get Netflix supposed to come out and see me in a couple of weeks. So we're trying to find a date right now to do that. And if they, you know, if they're interested, then I'll go from there. And if not, then maybe I'll make one myself, you know, or do something, you know, where I'm owning my own shit. So, you know, I'm excited about that, but, you know, I'm hopeful. Right now I'm just trying to be hopeful and wake up each day. And
you work hard,
trying to be
right?
hopeful. Yeah.
You're funny. You're a sweet guy.
Thanks, man.
You forced yourself to the next level by getting clean. It wasn't like you fell off the stage.
Right.
It was something you recognized that needed to be done. You know, when I used to get high, dog, I would go pee and I wouldn't look in the mirror.
Yeah.
Like the last 10 years, I would not look at myself in the mirror because I was so ashamed of what I was doing.
Man, that's crazy.
Man.
I can totally.
Yeah, I know as a comic, you could get so far with drugs.
Yeah. But
to take it to that level where you want to, what's going on? You want to smoke a joint? You want to drink a Heineken?
Yeah.
That's great. But you're watching your audiences, watching the people that are coming to the shows. You're watching 1,000 things.
Yeah.
You don't really have time to get fucked up when you want to take it to that. And this could be in any occupation. Yeah, it's going to work for a while. It always does.
Yeah.
It always starts off great. It always starts off great.
Yeah.
You know, I'm grateful for Lee. I'm grateful for my wife. I'm grateful for my baby.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for this fucking podcast. I'm grateful for the people that come to the shows.
Amen.
But I got to tell you something. I'm grateful for not doing that shit no more at all. I'm really grateful. And I'm a loser. I did it until I was 44. At least you stopped at 32. I could not imagine the day I would be clean. And then I saw the Ray Charles thing, the movie Ray, and I was like, that motherfucker did heroin. I can't do coke till I'm 61.
Yeah. Oh, that's scary.
I can't do coke till I'm 61. Where am I going to go? What are you going to do? So
my biggest fear is, some chick with a nice butthole in the 8-ball shows up, and that's what fucking.
No, that's what you feel now. And see it for what it is. You know what, man? There's nothing in the fucking world I want to do than get an 8-ball and stick it in Kate's asshole and suck it out of there. Fucking true.
Oh, yeah.
Kate is as beautiful as they come, as sexy as they come. I know she's an ally. What would I gain by it? If she let me start a line off her asshole, I would be all in. But at this point in the game, I can't go back. I made a promise. I made a man promise. I didn't make a promise to a woman. I didn't make a promise to my father. I didn't make a promise to anybody. I made a promise to the universe, and it paid me back. It paid me back.
That's what I think
stuck to my promise. Nobody had to watch me. I didn't have to go to no meetings. I didn't have to do anything. I made a promise to myself as a man that this is what we're doing from now on. No exceptions.
Yeah,
don't
that's
give a
it.
fuck what happens, who, where, when, and that makes your life a lot easier. Listen, that was my world. Wow. Snorting coke and eating pussy and getting dirty and coming on your face and your tits and you sucking my balls and me putting it in your ass and then putting it in your mouth. It was my world. That I'm an ugly dude. You know, I don't have time to date. I was not the dating type that was going to take you out for 4 dates and then you go.
Yeah.
Everybody I met was on a fucking whim. Let's do this shit. Let's do blow and let's get fucking evil.
Let's forget what happens. Stealing each other's shit, dude. One night I remember Earl and this dude were all in the same room and we all stole each other's fucking shit. And so we're all sitting there with each other's like money, pocketbook, purse. Dude took a purse. Like, fuck.
Did you fuck anybody?
Huh? I didn't fuck anybody, dude.
They steal your shit.
We just eventually she said, look, I'm fucked up and I took this. She got so high. And then dude's like, and I took this. And then I can last piece his wallet. And I set it out there and I was like, man, we all stole each other's shit.
From this icy Mike, who do you know? What are these people that you hang out with? Who do you know? What are these people that you
So when acid came through our town, we got a lot of bad acid. You know, I think people would sell because sometimes acid comes through. You don't know what it is. You don't know who made it. It's $6. It was $6 for a hit. You know, you're going to be out of it for 4 to 8 hours. So this guy, Mike, got bad on some acid. Him and his buddy. And then one time his family ended up getting into like livestock, you know, dealing big animals, nothing small, horses, heifers, stuff like that. And he had he gave a bunch of like kind of no-dos or something to some of these animals because it would get them to shit more. And so there was one time where he had like 3 animals all shitting at the same time, right? Yeah, big animal.
Why did he want them to shit?
It was like not a show, but it was like not a performance, but you know what I'm saying, like. Let's watch them shit, you know?
Sure.
And I went over there one time, dude, and everybody was eating acid, and we watched these cows shit for maybe 15 minutes straight. Like nothing you've ever seen, man.
I don't think I want to see that, to be honest.
Yeah, you say that.
What did the poop look like coming out when you're on acid?
It looked like poop, man. But it was just almost seemed magical that you could get all 3 of them to do it at once. You know, and that's the kind of shit that took me to another level, man. Dude, we had this other girl one time, Charlotte, bigger girl, biggest girl we knew. So biggest girl we'd ever met. And she ate some acid one time and got locked in this room. And people kept kind of dripping kind of warm water on her all night, bro. Fucked up. You know, and those are the things I miss. Cooked a pizza in a dryer once. What else do you throw rocks at fucking invisible animals and shit in the woods? Just, you know, fun, man. Joy.
You're a crazy friend. You're a crazy dude, my friend.
Looking for joy, man.
But that's why you're crazy as a comic, and that's what makes you a good comic. That's what makes you a good comic, guys.
I miss it.
I'm missing anything.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm probably not
missing anything.
Right.
I thought
that's
about
the truth.
Night times, and I said to myself, well, why couldn't I have control? Why couldn't I have control? Like, go Viking one night with him, you want to take a Xanax and edible. I ain't manage it. That's probably going to tan that. It's going to decrease that anxiety the edible gives you.
Yeah.
But, do I really need an Oxycontin in my fucking life? Do I need that shit at this point in my life? Those things don't even do nothing to me sometimes. Sometimes I eat a Viking and I get high. Sometimes I eat one that don't do dick. I'm pretty fucking safe with the reefer, bro. I don't miss dick.
Yeah.
I miss, I don't have no regrets, though. I'll tell you that much. At this point now, I had a good time, man. Fuck it. It happened. There's nothing I can do to take it back. It's time, whether it was anything bad I did or anything good I did, there's nothing I can do to take it back. That's it. You make peace with yourself at some point. and you accept what the fuck you're gonna be. And that was, like I said, I'm very fortunate to even be in this fucking office sitting next to you and Lee. Yeah. I know that. I never even considered Los Angeles when I started doing comedy.
Wow.
It wasn't even on my map.
New York only.
No. I didn't even do comedy in New York. I did comedy in New York for 9 months as an open mic, and I knew it wasn't for me. That was a torture chamber. Colorado, people just called you and put you on stage.
Yeah.
You'd have to show up with 10 people and sell tickets outside. And no. That's animal. That's a different type of fucking world.
Yeah.
I developed in a smaller market. Everybody knew the people just called you and put you on stage. You know, you could just call people. You have to show up with 20 people.
I did know that. I came from a place where I had something to say that other people didn't have to say. Like, that's the thing that gives me the most of my comedy. I look around and I'm like, half these motherfuckers don't even have a story. Like, they don't have any. They're writers. You know, half these guys are writers. You know, and I like to watch a show. You know, I like to watch somebody perform. You know, like when I see something and I'm like, oh, that person has been through something that I want to know about, because that's what makes me jealous. Like, I want to be a little bit jealous when I'm watching somebody, you know, of their life, even if the life was good or bad. You know, sometimes when I see somebody even in a struggle, you know, I'm like, fuck, I get jealous, because like I want to be whatever that is. Same. And then Douglas had a stutter and I wanted to be him, so I would impersonate him. And then the teacher said, well, she put me in trouble, you know, so you're making fun of him. I said, I'm not making, and I tried to explain my case, but they wouldn't even fantasize it, you know. Like, what do you mean you're not making fun of him? I'm not making fun of him. I want that. How do I get what he has? You know? I don't know. I guess if somebody has something different than me, then I want to be able to experience it.
Did you want to be different?
If it's real.
Did you always want to be different?
I mean, I think I just being myself most of the time. I just hated being, you know, I just felt ashamed. I just felt ashamed.
You push ahead, you know, and I think it helps with the comedy at times, being so insecure. It really does. That rage gets released.
Yeah.
It's an interesting life when you commit to something, and you know, comedy is not being. I never, ever, ever wanted to be a cookie cutter person. I never, ever, ever wanted to be a cookie cutter person. I always knew that. I didn't want to do what other people were doing.
Yeah, I didn't want that.
I always felt like life was playing a trick on me. It wasn't until I started drinking with it that I started getting high. So for a year, wait a second, Saturday Night Live to me sucked. Like, all these people come up to me, oh my God, we go home on Saturday Night, we want Saturday Night Live, and I would go home, and I would go to a girl would babysit in my neighborhood.
Oh yeah.
And everybody would go over there at 11:30, and they would all be giggling like little fucking idiots. And I'd be sitting there going, I don't get this. But are they playing a trick on me? Like, I'm supposed to laugh at this?
Right.
Like, I'm supposed to like this fucking music because these 20 people in the room, like, it was terrible. Like, I kept seeing that over and over again when I was young, and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking do that when I get older. If I don't like something, I'm gonna fucking say it, you know? Like, if I don't like something, I'm gonna fucking say it. I would see 20 people in the room, and I thought they'd be putting me on. It's like, I'd go to a concert, and I knew the concert sucked. The guy was off that night. But there'd be 20 people that would say, oh my God, it was tremendous. I did not want to be people at all. Like, it bothered me. And then today, it's the weirdest thing. When I see those people, I know they don't like me. So for 3 or 4 minutes, I feel really insecure about myself. But then I realize I wouldn't want to hang out with them either.
Right.
I wouldn't want to be in a room with them either, like at a dinner party where let's take a minute and each say what we're thankful for.
Yeah.
And some asshole gets up, I'm thankful to be here with all you guys. At 9 in the morning, I see 15 people standing on line, acting line. Nothing perturbs me more than that.
Yeah.
We live in a generation that they can't wait to stand on line. Oh my goodness, I stood on line for 6 hours. Really? I think you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I never wanted that.
Wasted 6 hours of your fucking life. I go to a fucking restaurant, they tell me 15 minutes, I tell them to go fuck themselves. I'm out of there. Yeah. I'm out of there. Not a fucking minute. Especially for eggs and bacon with potatoes and toast.
It's real when you hear somebody's story in there and they're up there.
It depends.
Yeah,
Some
that's
AA
true.
meetings, if you go to AA in Hollywood, it's a
yeah.
And you go to an AA meeting, you're going to see. Like when I first got clean in 85, my teacher, Mr. Popping your head up in the morning, putting your feet on the floor and your clothes are on the floor, and you could smell the cigarette smoke from your fucking clothes from those AA meetings.
You can smell people's poor choices. I'm in Tacoma at the Tacoma Comedy Club, and then March 17th, I'm in Spokane at the Spokane Comedy Club.
Just to test you, just to see if you go back and do a pill or go back and do a line or go back and have a drink. And as long as you stay away from that, you always beat them. You always got the ace in your pocket.